Why hasn't Russia sent a man to the moon yet? The space race is perhaps the best known peacetime battle between the US and the Soviet Union. Although the US won the race to the moon, if a person placed a bet in the mid-1950s and 1960s on who would go first, the odds would be with the Soviet Union. At that time, the Soviets were leading the space race and had already taken their first steps with the launch of Sputnik, their satellite, and then sent several probes to the moon, and in 1961 Yuri Gagarin became the first man to go into space. So when Kennedy made the now famous we choose to go to the moon" speech in 1962, Khrushchev's response was his silence, neither confirming nor denying that he had a plan for a manned mission to the moon. At that time, Khrushchev was not really interested in competing with the US for the moon, but for intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs. With the fall of Khrushchev in 1964, Korolev took full control of the moon missions with the goal of landing in 1967 on the 50th anniversary of the October Revolution and getting there before the Americans. This created a problem for Korolev to lift the 95-ton payload required for a very large rocket. This new rocket would be called the N-1, would be as big as an American Saturn V, while requiring large and powerful engines. Valentin Glushko, who was the leading Soviet rocket designer and head of the OKB 456 office, specialized in building engines that used hyperbolic propellants. These consist of a fuel and an oxidizer, which when mixed together ignite automatically when they come into contact with each other. Korolev thought that this was too dangerous for manned missions and due to the highly toxic chemical substances that made up the fuel. Glushko ultimately said that it was not possible to create a new large engine design using liquid oxygen and kerosene cryogenic fuels and have it ready in the time requested due to limited resources and cash. Also, the Americans had been working on the cryogenic machines for 5 years and still could not get them to work reliably. So why did Russia not put a man on the moon, the secret Soviet moon rocket? We still don't know why they didn't put a man on the moon. But they claim they will have a manned mission on the south pole of the moon together with China at one point. We'll see what happens. This I've translated from a Greek article. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box